all the goodness we will bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Ready to go, thanks. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our council meeting for the 14th of September. I'd like to open the meeting and firstly acknowledgement to country. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land in which we meet today, the Darumbal people, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. I extend that respect to our neighbouring Aboriginal peoples within our local government area, the Gungaloo Nation people, the Barada, Capybara and Yetamarala people. And I also acknowledge the Torres Strait Islander people whose land is in the Torres Straits but who live and work on Aboriginal land. Thanks very much, councillors, and we'll move on to item 1.2, an opening prayer delivered by Reverend Brett Wilson. Thanks very much, Brett.
Hi, I'm Brett Wilson from the Rockhampton Baptist Church, and it's my pleasure to open in prayer today. Heavenly Father, we acknowledge you today as the supreme authority in the world, and I commend to you these councillors and their support staff who are responsible, Lord, for governing really on your behalf over us. We thank you for this beautiful city and the honour it is to live here, and I thank you for these leaders who today, Lord, will make decisions that affect the people who live here and the businesses that flourish here. I pray for your wisdom to be in them. I pray, Lord, for outcomes that will bless this place and all who live here. I pray that you'll bless them personally and their families as well. I ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. Move on to apologies and leave of absence. One from Councillor Fisher that previously granted. And move on to item 4, the confirmation of minutes from the previous meeting. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Move Councillor Smith, seconded Councillor Wickerson. For the true and accurate record, I'll put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Carried, thank you. And that the minutes from the meeting for a special meeting on the 3rd of September be confirmed as true and accurate. Moved again Councillor Smith, seconded Councillor Latcham. I'll put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you, councillors. Public forum deputations, nil. Presentations of petitions, nil. Oh, declarations of interest. Sorry, councillor, I jumped that one. We have declaration of interest in matters on the agenda. Councillor Latcham informed the meeting he has a declarable conflict of interest. He received hospitality to the Beef Australia event between the 2nd and the 8th of May and will not be and will now leave the meeting in that room while that matter is being considered on a vote. That matter is in closed session, so just a question of the CEO. That will carry over into the closed session item from the start of this meeting. Okay, thank you. Thanks very much. Now moving on to item 6 and 7, we've gone through that. Item 9, councillors, councillor delegate report 9.1. Councillor Donna Kirkland. 6.1. Oh, lifting matters. I'm on the run today trying to read through it, so my apologies, councillors. Lifting matters from on the table. The item there, the commercial studies for 2021 and the notice of motion for Councillor Latcham. Can I seek a mover and a second with regards to both those motions? Move Councillor Kirkland, second Councillor Wickerson. I'll put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Now 9.1. Councillor Donna Kirkland, discretionary fund for Rockhampton Wildlife Rescue. Mover and a seconder. Move Councillor Smith. We have a seconder. Councillor Latcham. We'll put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 9.2, leave of absence for Councillor Donna Kirkland from the 30th of October to the 13th of November. I'm happy to move and seek a seconder. Second to Councillor Latcham. We'll put that. Those in favour? Carried. And item 9.3, leave of absence from Councillor Fisher from the 29th of September to the 22nd of October. Move Councillor Kirkland. Second to Councillor Mathers. I'll put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Carried. There we go. I'll move going around really well. Now we move on to item 10, the officers' reports. Item 10.1, Rockhampton Agricultural Show. Greg, would you like to present the report, please? Thank you.
Morning, Mayor and Councillors. This report comes about from a motion last month, and I suppose it's a very detailed report. Talks through all the costings and resourcing for the event, and compares the 2019 and the 2021 event. As we know, 2020 was cancelled due to COVID, and as I say, it spells out the number of visitors to the event, and as I say, all the resources. So I'd probably entertain questions rather than go into all that detail that actually is in the report, councillors and Mayor, if that's okay.
Yep, thanks very much, Greg. Councillor Kirkland?
Thank you,
Question?
Mr Mayor. Thank you through you. Greg, the 2019 figures, are they accurate, given that this time around we had really good opportunity to gauge the numbers through, just to double check on that?
Yes, well, they're as accurate as we can find detail for, councillor, yes.
Beautiful, thank you. And I just noted that when we were at the show, a lot of the Showman's Guild people were talking about insurance and about the fact that they were having difficulty for the rides and that sort of thing, getting insurances. So moving forward, will that be an expense that council would be expected to pick up if they can't secure those insurances?
No, we wouldn't cover their rides and that entertainment. That would be borne by the provider.
So in the event that they couldn't get insurances, how will our community be safe?
They wouldn't operate if they weren't covered by
I know it's
insurance, I'm sure of that.
speculative. Yeah.
So,
Probably
Just-
would
whether
just
the-
assist that question, Mr Mayor, if I could, is that just about every single year that the show is held, no matter if we run it or society runs it, is that Workplace Health and Safety Queensland go over it and review a lot of the equipment that comes through the doors or through the gates, as well as our safety team assist those on the way through. So that doesn't say that accidents won't happen, but that is one way of minimising any issues.
Councillor, if I could probably
Thanks,
add,
Eddie.
this is not Rockhampton specific, so I mean that's probably the important part, and the answer to your question is if that means they can't be supplying their wares here, they certainly can't be anywhere else, which means that the death of shows in general across especially across Queensland, but probably across Australia. So I think other levels of government would then start to get involved, as we know the federal government is on the Insurance Commission along the way, and insurances are all across the spectrum.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Further question?
Yes, thank you, Mr Mayor. Through you, just noting that the resolution back in 2019 takes us through to 2025, and there was the continuation of the $5 fee there. I just wanted to ask the table, does that continue through to 2025, or do we have options to change some of that?
Fees and charges always can be changed, councillor, at any time. I think Councillor Smith's got a foreshadowed motion coming up after this report.
Oh,
I think
okay.
there was another report that was to be tabled, so
Excellent.
at this stage it is what it is.
Thank you, Ms Mayor. And if I might just close off with some comment to this report. I want to say thank you, Greg, for bringing the report to us, and I think it's really great for the community to see we're talking about those support resources that it's difficult to kind of gauge how much they cost, but looking at that page 10 there, the venue management and the safety, perspective finance and all the rest of the things, it's a really good thing for the community to see what we do over and above in all of our events, because sometimes when we see that, yes, we've incurred a loss, that could create some kind of negativity, but when we look at the overall benefit that the community has received, that $1.8 million, it kind of balances things out and puts things in perspective again when we see the additional over and above that we go to. So thank you for bringing the report to us. Happy to move that the report be received, Mr Mayor, if there's no other
Thanks,
questions.
Councillor Kirkland. And again, the importance of having events on throughout the year is something on the calendars that we make sure that our community feels that it's a livable area as well. So it's something there that council strives very hard, and through Advance Rockhampton and the team and across the council, where those other supports are called on from time to time to assist with the staging of those events. It does make it a lot easier, but they are difficult, and hats off to all the staff and the team that pull those together, but also the councillors that are involved and the external groups that step in to run those show committees and so forth. There's a lot of volunteer work that probably goes unnoticed as well, so it's a team effort, and I'm not sure everyone appreciates that when you walk through the door and you pay your ticket to get in. Okay, thank you. Councillor Smith?
Mine's probably all comments, Mr Mayor. you know, we look back on the last 12 months from June to June, we had COVID in there, we were trying to organise and, you know, COVID kept getting in the way and weren't sure if there was even going to be a show at one stage because some agricultural societies in Queensland actually pulled out. It was just too hard with the COVID. But after the show, I actually spoke to Peter Curtis. If you notice, he's on our committee. He's been around Rockhampton Show, he tells me, for 60 years, ever since he was 6-year-old. He's involved in not only our committee, but the committee before that was running the show, and when council was running it in the early 2000s, he was actually involved as well. He's the Senior Vice President of Queensland Ag Shows. What he was telling me was something I didn't know, and I noticed that some of the showies move in 2 weeks before the show, and it's actually, Rocky's classed as a maintenance depot, where a lot of them that aren't following, they all follow different circuits. They come to Rocky, they use mechanics, electricians, boiler makers, because people who sell hot dogs aren't mechanics and they get their vehicles serviced. If you look around, their vehicles are worth a lot of money, a little bit different to the early days when they went around in old trucks and that. They've got all modern equipment that needs servicing, and their rides have to be serviced and inspected as well. So they use Rocky as a depot to do that 2 weeks before the show, and that gives our businesses in Rocky some business, and I know that's appreciated. But also, I'm concerned about the wages that we pay out. In the last 2 years, we've paid out nearly $300,000, and it's all internal, mainly the wages bill. To get volunteers, as we know, and we keep saying that young people aren't stepping up. So the Show Society in Queensland recognised that, and they've brought out something called Next Gen. And I know when we had the Showgirl finals in Rocky in 2019, there was some people there from Next Gen, and they were lovely young people. So there's only Rockhampton area, Central Queensland and Western Queensland who aren't involved at the moment, but Peter's going to get Rockhampton going in the next 12 months. It's encouraging young people to be volunteers. They train them, they give them confidence in running the shows, and they've got to a standard now that the Next Gen are actually running events and raising money for Show Society. So that's something exciting that is going to happen during the next 12 months, and hopefully we can get more volunteers. I know we've got nearly 100 volunteers, but we need a lot more as well. And hopefully these young people can be encouraged to be volunteers next year, and that will bring our wages bill right down.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for that information, Councillor Smith. It's good to understand that. It's not sure we all get to appreciate what the show brings, and what we do need with volunteering and the staff time involved in that as well. So Councillor Kirkland has moved. Oh, sorry, Councillor Wickerson has a question.
Yeah, thanks, Mr Mayor. Comment then followed by a question. Firstly, through you to Greg, thank you very much for the detailed report. It's so good to get that actual feedback after the event of what the actual indicators are. I mean, we predicted before, but it's good to get that measurement afterwards, so thank you for the detail of that. And thanks to Councillor Kirkland for moving that to make that so. Reading through the report, I was, I guess, a little bit surprised at how many units of council actually get involved, probably the unsung heroes of it, including councillors around the table. I think we all spent some time on our stall, and particularly Councillor Smith, not only on the committee but also in the ring, chasing cattle around and horses around and chasing us around. So, yeah, congratulations. But the question is, Greg, and this goes, I think, down the bottom of page 7, just about that economic impact of it. So, yeah, you've got the figures of total visitor spend. I probably need a bit more explanation about how that's, the methodology, how we come to that. Is that based on a per visitor average? And I guess I was surprised that there was a little bit of a loss to direct impact. Is that money that goes, you know, for example, on the Showman's Guild that goes out of the city? That's why there's a little bit of leakage there.
It is. There's a number from that point of view. Again, direct and indirect economic impact have a number of factors within them, of course, and a lot of that is what money stays in town and spent versus what leaves the town. There's no doubt about that. So if you like, I can try and step that out a little bit more in an email if you like. But I was very heartened to see that economic number because, you know, as has been said around the table, So many people are involved, whether that be internal here at Rocky Regional Council in delivering this event. You can see that in there, not just AR but all across council. But then there's the volunteers, as say you councillors, but also, you know, without the Showman's Guild there's no show either. So, you know, there's those sort of factors. So if that economic impact was $500,000, we might not be sitting here going, wow, that's wonderful. But with $1.8 million, it certainly is a lot of moving parts. It's very resource hungry, whether that be internal resources or external to make it happen. But it's something that is delivering for the city. So we've just got to work out how we resource that and make efficiencies each year. As you can see on that table, you know, we're able to improve what our offer was for less money, or at least less net money on our budget between one year and the next, or one show and the next. So hopefully we can continue to make those improvements. Again, our revenue numbers are even higher again this year, this coming show in 2022. So there'll be challenges there, but that's also about trying to continue to improve that expense side of the budget as well. But delivering a great show, and as the Mayor said, Councillor Smith has a motion that's sitting on the table at the moment. We can discuss that at the appropriate time as well. That will have an impact if passed as well.
Thank you. And just finally, Mr Mayor, it's more than the bottom line. We talk about this with every event that we do. It's that livability and the confidence that it puts back out in the community, particularly at this time, you know, with health crisis around. It just shows a bit of confidence and leadership that the show can go on. You know.
Yeah, no, you're right, Councillor Wickerson, and I think it probably highlights when you look at the calendar year, the events that have been undertaken this year with Beef Week and Rocky Nats, and then the Rocky Show, NRL. There's lots of preparation that's been going on behind, and the unsung heroes are those people that work for the council that go on to do unnoticed. So if Mr. CEO, if there's something there that you could take back to the staff, would be something there that we do really appreciate the efforts that they've put in this year with undertaking all those events. Councillor Rutherford?
Mr Mayor, I was happy to second it, but if I can also add, thank you once again for the report, but, you know, we've often discussed that our community and our region is more than just built hard infrastructure. You know, I think by far it's about the livability, as you said, and these events come with a cost, but what they add to our community and the livability of our community really is invaluable. You can't put a dollar figure on that, because you could have the nicest looking built infrastructure, but if there is no heart and soul in a community, it's not a nice place to live. So I think the investment that we've put into these events, you know, it shows in our community, and I'm happy to second this.
No, thanks very much, Councillor. It's good.
Mayor, if I could just add to that, I suppose that the last weekend just passed is a great example of that. I mean, 3 fantastic events in the Silk 4, if you count the Wattle Day Festival as well, but you know, several of which we were part of in a support fashion. So, you know, NRL, PBR, Wattle Day Festival and Big Boys Toys. I mean, well, what a great weekend, and it had people certainly not just out and about, but talking about the region and how wonderful it is as well. So I think that's so important, and that's Councillor Rutherford's comment as well, that we continue to build that livability of the city, and you know, whether we're running the events in this case with the show, or whether we're supporting them in other ways, whether that be as an entire council or just Advance Rockhampton.
And dare I say it, Greg, putting Rocky on your radar.
I love it. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah. Councillor Latcham?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Just through to Greg. Thank you, Greg, for the report, and it obviously shows the cost-benefit analysis of the show in the region, and that's great to know. Just a question. Admissions were 33,000 people for the duration of it, but yet just looking at the admission fees, and that's equivalent to 28,500 people. Why the discrepancy?
It'll be numbers through the gate somewhere there. I can't tell you unequivocally, but it'll be numbers through the gate, and there will be a number that are counted that may be workers and such like that. So at the end of the day, they're still attendees at the event. So
just a fairly 50,000.
Yeah.
So it's
I will take your question on notice and dig in a bit further.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor, if no further questions, I'll put those in favour. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Thanks again for the report, Greg, and thanks, Councillor Kirkland, for calling for that report. Moving on to Communities and Heritage, 10.2, the Rockhampton Museum of Art Philanthropy Board. Member recommendation. Thanks very much, Damon.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Councillors, good morning. The report before you for consideration relates to the appointment of a new member for the Rockhampton Museum of Art Philanthropy Board to fill one of the 2 vacancies that currently exist. On review of the applications received by the board following a recent active member attraction campaign, the board have resolved to recommend to Council for acceptance of the appointment of Mrs Sheila Houston as a member of the Rockhampton Museum of Art Philanthropy Board in accordance with its terms and conditions. Happy to take any questions, Mr Mayor.
Thanks very much, Damon. Questions, councillors? It's a pretty self-explanatory report. I'm happy to move, or Councillor Wickerson? Happy to move, and Councillor Wickerson second. No questions, I'll put that. Councillors, those in favour? Opposed? Unanimous. Carried unanimously. Thank you. Thanks very much, Damon. Moving on to planning and regulations. 10.3. Councillor Mathers, did you have any comment to any of these? Or?
No, thank you, Mr Mayor. I'm happy for one of the officers to run through that. Apologise.
Thanks very much.
Good morning, Mr Mayor and councillors. The proposal is for a dwelling house to be resited at 6 Totteridge Street, Lakes Creek. The dwelling house, let me just do this. No? That way? Whoop. Sorry. So the dwelling house will be approximately 127 square metres in size and includes 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, open kitchen, living area. The house will be provided with an on-site sewage system and will be connected to Council's water network and gain access via Totteridge Street. The application was required... So the subject application was required due to the site being affected by a special management overlay. This overlay is in place because of established industrial uses located in the surrounding area, including Lakes Creek Meatworks and Borrell. The house will be located a significant distance from these uses, approximately 980 metres south of the Meatworks holding facility and 340 metres from the south of Borrell Asphalt manufacturing plant. The application was subject to public notification for 15 business days and no submissions were received. The proposed development is considered to be in keeping with the purpose of the rural residential zone and is not anticipated to compromise the strategic framework of the Rockhampton Region Planning Scheme. Therefore, the proposal is recommended for approval subject to the conditions in the report.
Thanks very much, Kathy. Councillors, any questions? If not, could I seek a mover and a seconder with regards to the recommendation? Move Councillor Mathers, seconded Councillor Smith. I'll put that. Those in favour?
Thank you.
Opposed? Unanimous. Carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to 10.4. Tanya.
Good morning, Mr Mayor and councillors. The first one we've got is a material change of use for the service station at Westwood. That's the subject site. The pub is excluded from that area and wasn't part of the application process. So here we have the actual plan of the development. We've got the retail shop right on the Capricorn Highway, and we've got 3 bowsers. That will be stage 1 of the approval. And the green part is stage 2, so that's all the truck refuelling facilities and a rest area for the truckies. So there were some issues raised in the submissions. There was only one submitter and he's approximately 6 kilometres from the subject site. Concerns were raised about the on-site water and sewage services. However, the applicant provided that there's enough water and enough area for sewage services. The submitter also raised an issue about the current car parking and veranda for the hotel and not enough parking for the hotel. The hotel's actually excluded from this application, so we can't take that into consideration. The turning lanes were incorrect or insufficient. DTMR was a referral agency for this application and they are happy with all the turn circles and swept paths. He had concerns also regarding flooding. The front part of the site does partially flood from Westwood Creek, but all the infrastructure is well outside of that area. He also raised some concerns that we can't actually consider, such as increased robberies, petrol sniffing, those sort of antisocial behaviours. So the application's recommended for approval subject to the conditions in the report.
Thanks very much, Tanya. Councillors, questions? Councillor Smith, then Councillor Rutherford. Councillor Smith?
Yes, Tanya, you said Main Roads are happy with the, so they're happy with what's in the application for turning in and turning out?
Through the chair, yes, they are.
They've got to do it according to the Capricorn standards, etc.
That's
that
correct.
There will be a turn in from the west.
Yes.
And a slip lane.
Yes, there will be.
These.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. That was my concern with the with anything like this.
Thanks, Councillor Smith. Councillor Rutherford?
Mr Mayor, I'd like to move this if I could. It's a great development for the Westwood community. They're very excited about it. I think the issues that were raised have been addressed adequately, and it's brought a very, very good vibe to that community. So I would ask my councillor colleagues to support this application.
Thanks very much, and duly noted, Councillor Rutherford. Councillor Mathers?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Yeah, look, I'd also just like to say that I think this is very good for Westwood community. It's great to see some sort of building going on there, and it just helps promote the area as well. So I'm happy to second it.
Okay, seconded Councillor Mathers. Councillor, if there's no further questions, I'll put that recommendation. Those in favour? Opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Thanks very much. Tanya, are you here for the next report as well?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. We'll go to that.
Okay, the next report is in relation to a minor amendment to a preliminary approval overriding the planning scheme for the Horizon Rail Yards. Back in March, Council approved that development. It's a little bit different in that's one where there's effectively a mini planning scheme for the Horizon site, and it splits it up into precincts. So you can see there it's divided into a number of precincts, 3 precincts. Each precinct has a table of assessment for development applications that may be needed to be lodged in the future. The application and approval was actually appealed by the submitter Linfox because they're an industrial use and the railway yard local plan considered educational uses for part of the site. Linfox was worried about reverse amenity impacts, and that occurs when you've got an existing use and you come up with a new, more sensitive use so that they can't complain about noise and odour and dust and those sorts of things. So Linfox and Council got together and we've agreed to amend the local plan code, which is marked in track changes in the report. Effectively, there's been a few changes in the definitions to include a sensitive land use definition, which includes educational establishments to only be TAFE or university. So under the old local plan code, it could have been a childcare centre, it could have been a kindy, anything like that. So it's just basically now gone down to tertiary education establishments. The transport-related facilities, they included a mini definition of that. So in relation to that, the local plan code changed for the 2 definitions, and then there were just consequential amendments through it to make sure it all linked together.
No, that sounds good explanation there. Thanks, Tanya. And it seems logical for those educational ones to be at that level anyway, so makes sense. Councillors, any questions to Tanya on this one? I'm happy to move. Seek a seconder. Seconded Councillor Mathers. I'll put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Carried unanimously. Thanks very much, Tanya.
Thank you.
Moving on to water and environmental sustainability, 10.6, environmental sustainability strategy for 2021, year in review. And we'll ask Christine, and again, probably take this opportunity to thank the team for the Tidy Towns Award and the work that's gone in the backgrounds there, and Councillor Kirkland, I'm sure she'll echo that. It's great to receive not 1 but 2 awards. Fantastic. So great work there. So I'll hand over to Christine. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning, councillors. It's my pleasure today to present the Environmental Sustainability Strategy Year in Review. This highlight report really checks in on the progress against Council's strategy and the significant achievements that we've had in the year that's been. Today I'm seeking that Council endorse and approve public exhibition of this report.
Oh, sorry, you finished your report there. Councillor, I thought it was going to be a large explanation, but no, thanks very much, Christine. Councillor Kirkland, as the portfolio chair, would you like to...
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr Mayor. Happy to. This is one of Council's most comprehensive reports that we present, and this year's year in review document, we actually showcase a lot of the photography that came through our local Environment Photography Awards earlier in the year. It celebrates amazing victories and delivery of initiatives that actually mean real savings and benefits to our community. So environmentally, we're looking at educational programs for transitioning away from single-use plastics as an example, and our FOGO trial is another example. We've got socially footpaths and tree plantings that encourage that healthy physical activity as opposed to driving in the car. That being said, we probably all drove here in a car today. And economically, of course, the solar farm, and that's going to return significant energy costs back to the ratepayers, to council, just as some examples. And if you turn to page 22 on this, it promises to the region that we're heading in the direction of continued deliberate stewardship and improvements of that natural, social and economic environment, ensuring sustainability as we move forward, working together with the community, with council practicing what they preach. I like that. The change starts at home, and it's a continual question to us of what next, what else, and what more can we do. I want to extend my thanks to Christine and Laura, and indeed all of council, for actually leading the way on this. And our most recent celebration, as you mentioned, Mayor, receiving 2 national awards. I think that's a first in this type of thing, environment, for us to receive national awards for the natural environment management and the environmental sustainability and water. Those 2 awards through the Australian Sustainable Communities, this is a big title, through the Australian Sustainable Communities Keep Australia Beautiful Tidy Town Awards. It further testifies to the journey that we are on. Congratulations to the community of the region of Rockhampton Regional Council. Sometimes, you know, we can get so focused on the trees that we actually don't see the forest. You know, we can see what impacts us personally and perhaps complain that not enough is being done, yet we actually don't look out and see that there's quite a lot happening out there. So that being said, we've still got a long way to go. As I have commented before, more that we can do. And I am really happy to move that this report be received and made available for the public.
Thank you, Councillor Kirkland. Very comprehensive overview of the strategy, and it again, my take on it. I've noticed the staff commitment to the strategy, and that really is something that when councils implement something, and if it's not carried through from the staff level, you feel like you're maybe heading up the wrong path. But just to see the enthusiasm and the staff involvement in that, it really tells us that we're heading in the right way.
In the right direction.
So Councillor Smith and then Councillor Wickerson. Councillor Smith.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. I'd also like to congratulate Councillor Kirkland and all the team, the environmental team. And probably this goes back to 2016. That was the first term when Councillor Wickerson was the environmental person. We've come a long way since then. And I think that from 2012 to 2016 we didn't have an environmental section. So we've come a long way. We've kicked a lot of goals. And with winning those 2 awards, I hope we're going to put ourselves in the LGAQ magazine, tell the world what we've won. We don't let enough people know the good things we're doing here. Like, you open that up and you read about councils doing something that we did 10 years ago and everyone thinks it's marvellous. So I think we should make sure that we get really good exposure out of this.
Blow our trumpet, Councillor.
Yes, blow our trumpet.
I think we should too, I guarantee that. Thank you, Councillor Smith. Councillor Wickerson?
Yep.
And again, acknowledgement from your portfolio previous involvement in this space. But,
thanks, Mr Mayor. I'd love to commend Councillor Kirkland for outstanding work, leading a great team with Christine and co, and Alicia sitting there quietly. And we've come a long way. Right from the very start, we wanted to make environmental sustainability just a natural part of the culture, and not only council culture, and we can see when we have our leadership team that every unit of council again gets involved and they're having their own initiatives, but it's become just a natural thing to do. We don't have to think anything special that we're doing. It's just ingrained in what we do every day. So that's a great achievement. But also then you see that leadership spill over into the community with, was it 4,000, 6,000 hours of community input through volunteering into programs. The engagement of all the schools, I think when we started, we struggled a bit to get 12 schools to enter into the calendar, and now we're trying to find more months in the year to fit them all in so they all win a prize. And even just the projects that those schools are doing have got more sophisticated. Initially they were planting a few trees or a herb garden or whatever. Now they're quite advanced and very forward-thinking. So those sort of measures show that we are making inroads. Long way to go, but man, we've come a long way too. So again, congratulations to the whole team. Great work, and I'm sure it's going to continue under great stewardship. Well done.
Thanks, Councillor Kirk. Councillor Wickerson, Councillor Rutherford.
Mr Mayor, it's not a trumpet. We have a trombone.
That's it.
We've got to blow our trombone.
We've got to keep blowing it. I think that's the thing. We just probably don't focus on it enough. Thanks, Councillor Rutherford. Happy to move Councillor Kirkland and seconded Councillor Wickerson. I need to focus. I had a text message. I was off there and it's gone. But that said, thanks very much. Councillor, no more questions. I'll put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Carried unanimously. Thanks again, Christine. Well done.
Thank you all.
Now moving on to budget, governance and other matters. 10.7 Commercial Centres Study. And Cam, give him a round of applause for this one. It's not a real good segue to move from that one into this one, but I'll give you a clap, Cam.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Good morning, councillors. So I believe this matter was lifted off the table this morning, the Commercial Centres Study 2021. As councillors are probably aware, we had a discussion last month on the contents of the study itself, and we've gone away and made a couple of primary changes, being a check of the data, and including Parkhurst Shopping Centre, as well as some updates around reference to households in the hierarchy. The purpose of the report is for the study to be received. The attachment is the executive summary. So if there's any questions.
Thanks, Cam. Councillor Latcham.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. And through you to Cameron. So, Cameron, it's great to see that those figures have been updated and are more accurate than 0% last time. So it's good to see that that has been amended, and likewise some of the recommendations have kind of been a little bit modified because of that. So, but in essence, it's still the same. But in essence, I'd just like to say that I'm glad the numbers are more reflective. But what it does say to me is that there are different methodologies. And it depends on the methodology you use, depends on the type of figures and outcomes that you get from it. So I guess if I can take the report with a bit of pinch of salt, because there are parts of it that, under different methodologies, some areas are more vacant than implied in this report itself. So, but across the board, I'm generally happy with it.
Thanks very much, Councillor Latcham. Councillor Kirkland.
Mr Mayor, are we able to add to that motion to change slightly, not change the intent?
No motion, it's only the report we received, so if you wanted to put a dot point in there.
Yes, if it's possible.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Happy to do that though. Yep.
So I'd just like to add a dot point that we received the report as part of the ongoing economic reviews, and that we make the executive summary available to public with the full report available on application.
We'll just grab that.
It'd be go public.
It'd be going public anyway, Councillor.
Only the executive report though?
No, the whole report goes public,
The proposal is just the executive summary be made available. So the report will be made available. Obviously, all reports are made available. So that's the intent.
Okay. Probably doesn't need to be
currently.
Councillor Mathers.
Thanks very much, Mr Mayor. Through you to Cameron. Cameron, I just wanted to say thank you and good job. I know you yourself and the team started off with a report that was less than, what's the word I'm looking for, wasn't 100% correct. And I know you've done a lot of work behind the scenes to get that information back to us. So it was more reflective of the reality. So I just wanted to say thanks very much, because I know we all put you through the ringer over that one a little bit. So just thank you to yourself and the team for that, okay?
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Councillor Mathers, and yep, I echo that. Councillor Smith?
Yeah, so they get the executive summary is going live, what will be from today. So what when we say the full report, is that all our preamble, etc.? Is that what you're talking about? They can get a copy of the full report?
Cam?
That's correct. The proposal is to make the report available to obviously those key stakeholders, which is just the executive summary at this stage. If councillors wish to change that, we can certainly change that.
So can I just clarify that? Is it going public on our website? Is it public on our website?
Not currently, but we
No,
can
will
make.
be.
But we can do that. If councillors wish to do that, then we can make it publicly available. We already have a number of studies already publicly available that were done as part of the original planning scheme.
No, it's just that I thought that was the idea of it, putting it out for
Yeah.
public consultation.
Yeah, my suggestion there is to make the whole report publicly
Yep.
available. It'd be ITIable anyway, so
Yep.
just make it available.
Okay. Councillor Wickerson, question?
Yeah, just a query, Mr Mayor, thank you. So the attachment, Cam, on this isn't viewable to the public now?
Yes. So, yeah, sorry, through the chair, yes. The report is, this report is available with the executive summary, but not the study. But we can make the study publicly available at the request of councillors.
And like with the report that's on there, will that also include that disclaimer that it is just for information?
Yes.
It's reflective of our policy?
Yes, sorry, through the chair, yes, that's correct, Councillor Wickerson. We'll have a note across it saying for information purposes only. It is important to recognise, if we do make it publicly available, that the recommendations are subject to further change and discussion and deliberation by council. So there's no commitment to those recommendations. They'll be simply discussed at a later date.
Yep, okay, thank you.
Okay. No further questions. Can I seek a mover and a seconder with regards to those reports? Move Councillor Kirkland, second Councillor Mathers. Put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Moving on to fees and charges, 2021 amendments. Thanks very much, Marnie. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and good morning, everyone. So this report is in relation to changes to the fees and charges. One is in particular relation to the special water meter reading for on-site inspection fee to make it consistent. We had it in two places on the fees and charges area, and it's supposed to be $105 in both areas, so this is just to align that consistency. The rest of the report is in relation to Heritage Village fees and charges following the receival by Council in February of the Business Review report and summary report, and talking about the commercial hire functions at the shearing shed and the broader Heritage Village site on a dry hire basis. There are a number of changes that are put forward as part of that review and recommendation for the hire fees, which are listed in the report if questions wish to be asked about those.
Councillor Latcham.
Thanks, Mr Mayor, and through you to Namani. I'm happy with most of the fees except 35, 36, 37, which refer to the Heritage Village shearing shed, and on comparison to previous financial years' prices on what we charged that venue, which is a fantastic venue. But when we talk about dry hiring it and comparing it to other fantastic facilities that the Rockhampton Regional Council has, such as Scotia House, Bohemia House, the showgrounds. This is significantly more to hire, and the dry hire seems to have an additional component of staffing embedded within that. So it's not as simple as Scotia House, you pay $350, it's an air-conditioned venue, and it's purely a dry hire. This one that's been suggested is a bit more embedded than that, and I have concerns about how the price has increased from last year to the new fees. And I understand they'll be workshopped in the next couple of weeks or so, and I welcome that.
Yeah, well, Alicia, would you be able to give us some details on why that's a higher cost than just a dry hire from a building like the Bohemia House, Scotia Place?
I know that through the chair, John Webb was going to be online. I don't know whether he's there. Yeah.
Oh, John, would you be able to clarify those comments? Did you understand the question?
Yeah, through the chair, thank you. Good morning. When we spoke about dry hire, the terminology that we're using there was that we were not going to be providing any food or food service. We do know that there's occasions where we may have to provide the beverage services if they can't find somebody else to provide the alcohol service. The level of planning that is expected when people hire this venue isn't just the same as the Bohemia House or Scotia Place. They still expect to come and speak to somebody. They still expect to come to speak to somebody and then plan their event. You'll see from the pricing structures, we have 3 different levels of intensity, so to speak, that would be required to support the hire of the venue. And that will be based upon what the hirer's requirements are from us on the day. I don't believe that there was an expectation that because of the quality of this venue that we would hand the keys over for the weekend and there would never be any further interaction beyond there. The plan from a dry hire perspective was really to reduce the costs that were embedded in what we've had to pay in order to achieve food and beverage pricing. So what we've done is looked at 3 different levels of intensity of what people expect with the venue. It may very well be that people will just pay the lower amount. We'll then be able to sort of restrict the level of support that we do need to give them for their event, and then thereby, making it as affordable as possible. So that's the explanation I've got at the moment.
Councillor Latcham.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Supplementary to that, I accept that it is a specialised facility, and there are some people out there who would pay any amount of money for the beautiful function area that it is. But I kind of fear for the price. If it was obviously more in line with the other facilities we have, possibly it would be booked out a lot more through the year. I accept because it doesn't have air conditioning, it can't be booked all year round. But I fear for that figure as a comparison of how much it's gone up from last time.
So going up from last time, there were very few occasions when we did hire the venue and all we charged was the venue hire. And we then had, in the food and beverage pricing, there was then an attempt to get more for the service. Really what we've done here is been very clear that we're not doing the food and beverage, and we are still going to have to book and manage the venue to a level of expectation, which is very different from what people expect at Bohemia House. That's that basic 2,200. But certainly, Councillor, if we then find that this doesn't meet the market, we can certainly review from there. We do have bookings at the moment, and we were sort of forecasting where we estimated that the price was going to be, and we have not had one negative piece of feedback about that base 2,200 price. It's also worth noting that for local community not-for-profit groups, we do have an hourly rate. That's to try and have business for smaller meetings and I guess morning teas and that style of event during the day. And we've really built that price in there to try and facilitate those a more affordable option, and that's on an hourly rate. So we've built that capacity in there. But very happy after a while we can come back and reflect upon the prices and whether that's achievable or the right path.
Thanks, John. Councillor Wickerson.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. I think like others, initially I was a bit sceptical of those prices too because it was a big jump up from what we were used to. But when I first queried that, I did a bit of looking around, not at venues in Rockhampton, because they are very different to what the shearing shed is. They're just in capacity and the attached village with it. People often don't just book the shed. It'll be in conjunction with a wedding or photo shoots or whatever else through the rest of the village. So it is a different product. But places similar to Rockhampton and places similar to Heritage Village elsewhere are commanding this sort of money and more. So I was sort of pleased to see that. But I guess the proof of the pudding, John, will be, are we getting active bookings at those levels and that you're satisfied with, if you're still online?
Yes, certainly. Sorry, we've certainly got about, at the moment, between now and this time next year, without having launched the new pricing, we've got about 16 to 17 bookings already. So I anticipate that we'd start to get some good usage of the site, and then we can, the way our new process is going to work, we can review how that's going.
Yeah, okay, no, thank you. Well, I'm happy to review that in 12 months, or have that review, I should say, and to see if we're satisfied with the uptake of it. If we're not getting that interest at that higher rate, well, obviously it's a bit high, but we've said earlier on we're very keen to see the Heritage Village to be more commercially viable. It'll probably never make a profit, but at least to offset some of the operational costs of it. And this is one obvious way that we can do that, so we'll try it for a while and just see if we're happy with the results.
Yeah. Thanks, Councillor. Councillor Rutherford?
I was just wondering, I know you said you didn't check anything local, but as far as competitors for that type of venue, Lazy Acres, Henderson Park, have we checked comparison pricing for those facilities?
I'm not sure,
Yes,
John.
Councillor.
Thanks, John.
Yes, we have looked at some of those. It does vary quite wildly, broadly, depending upon what's on offer, but we are certainly within I would say, the middle of that market there, or towards the lower end. And by then also not doing the food and beverage and potentially also not the alcohol, and embedding that into our service price, embedding the venue hire into that, we're able to allow people to make a bit more of a decision-making process of what caterers they may wish to use or may not wish to use.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it makes it a little bit more flexible for people of different cultural backgrounds to use the site as well.
Thanks very much, John, for that explanation. Okay, councillors, I don't think we have any further questions. Could I seek a mover and a seconder? Move Councillor Wickerson, second Councillor Kirkland. Put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Do you want to record that, Councillor Latcham? Councillor Latcham record his vote against that. Motion. Okay, councillors, we'll move on the notices of motion. We have a notice of motion 11.1. Councillor Shane Latcham with the Rockhampton Regional Council floral emblem. Councillor Latcham. Oh, hang on, we'll seek a mover and a seconder first. You happy to move? Seconder, Councillor Wickerson.
Thanks, Mr Mayor, and happy for this recommendation that we just delay it a little bit so we get the Rockhampton regional residents a chance to have a say on this floral emblem and also other things that may come up that have symbolic representation on behalf of the region. So happy to delay this while we do this properly, have proper consultation.
Okay, thank you. Speaker against?
Speaker for.
We need another speaker against, I think.
It was just a comment, really.
Comment? Happy for a comment?
Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Change the tack.
I just wanted to commend Councillor Latcham for taking the initiative to do something which clearly there is a sentiment across the community of concern around this, and I also want to say thank you for changing the motion to incorporate conversation that we had at the workshop. So well done, thank you. Happy to second that.
No, good outcome, and I'll echo that as well, Councillor Kirkland. Councillor Wickerson?
Just a query through, Mr Mayor. Councillor Latcham, you said and other symbols. I'm just wondering what that might include. I mean, we talked about floral symbols. Are we looking at other?
The crest?
Oh, the crest?
The crest.
Okay.
It may expand out to other things if there's an interest in that time between now and then. There's an official bird, believe it or not. There's other things, but the thing I wanted to focus on was the floral emblem.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But the crest has been raised since then.
Yeah.
Yes, Ross?
If we have a mascot, count me out. I've been there, done that.
Yeah, through the chair. Primarily the crest was the other one, and there's also had been some talk on fauna
Oh, yeah.
symbols as well. So,
Okay.
yeah. So that plan will come back to council, but before we get into that.
When we've got, when time permits. Okay, no worries. We have a mover and a seconder. No further questions. I'll put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Questions on notice, urgent business? We have 2 items to be dealt with in closed session, councillors. Contract renewal for the CEO and support for Beef Australia 2021. Can I seek a mover that we move into closed session, or take those matters into closed session? Move Councillor Wickerson, second Councillor Kirkland. I'll put that. Those in favour? Motion's carried. And a motion that we move into closed session. Move Councillor Wickerson, second Councillor Smith. Councillor Smith. I'll put that. Those in favour? Opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you. We'll just wait for...
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be. Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming. Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming. Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Now that we've arrived here, I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming in sunshine, everybody feeling fine. Everybody join the front line, ain't nobody left behind. Everybody swimming.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
I would not change a thing. Knew that we'd survive here and all the goodness we would bring. Of this I sing. Everybody swimming in sunshine. Everybody feeling fine.
Okay, thanks, Linda. Councillors, with regards to the contract renewal for the Chief Executive Officer, recommendation is that the recommendations outlined in the report be adopted. I'm happy to move and seek a seconder. Councillor Smith, and I'll put that. Those in favour? Those opposed? Motion's carried unanimously. Thank you, councillors. Now, just with the next item, you're out for that. I'll just let Linda catch us up with that. And thanks, councillor. Do you close the door? Yep. No, leave it open, sorry. Leave it open. Did you record? Yeah, councillor, yep. With the conflict that's been reported earlier. Councillors, the item and the officer's recommendation on this one, the council seek a meeting with Beef Australia Board to discuss a request for the waiver of an invoice and additional charges to be continued support for beef events. Happy, can I take a mover and a seconder? Move Councillor Mathers, seconder Councillor Wickerson. We'll put that. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you, councillors. There be no further business. I'll declare the meeting closed and thank everyone for your input.
Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.